price now is alarming. Now, when you go to buy, last week on Friday, I happened to visit one of the commercial banks. The queue of parents I saw waiting to access a soft loan to complement their salary to pay the children's school fees is alarming. In fact, some banks turn down requests that they don't give such soft loans, because you collect. If you are collecting the loan, you are collecting based on your supposed income. The increase of minimum wage, the what have you, that has not been realistic. How can a bank give you a loan on that? And schools have resumed, with the exception of is it Edo or Kano State and Kaduna State that are resuming on the 15th or thereabout. Parents are finding it very difficult to pay school fees that is exorbitant. And when you look at the area of private schools, because the children attending private schools, when you take the ratio compared to what we have in the public school, government will they cannot, because the infrastructure in the public school cannot accommodate our children.
Right.
So we are saddled with this problem. Yeah.
If I may very quickly, so how are parents, adjusting to this new realities? Are they coming up with any kind of, creative ways to ensure that these kids don't add to the already bloated numbers of out-of-school children in Nigeria that hovers
the number is
15 million already?
Please, the number has already started increasing, because you that went round to Abuja to assess the resumption date, you could see a school that has a population of 2,000 or 1,500 500 pupils. You hardly see 800 in the school. What happens to the rest? So you add this and aggregate round the country, then that is the number you're having at out of school children. It has started already, because nothing is free in Nigeria. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing is free. So what
where do we go from here?
Very good question. Where do we go from here? As a Parents Teachers Association member, well, you're not just a member, acting Secretary General. What are your expectations of government? How do you think government can come in to ease the burden on parents and guardians?
We are looking up to government to have a lasting solution, not a temporary issue, not a temporary solution to this matter, because the cost of education is on the increase. Payment of other ancillary services or learning materials are on the increase. Payment of lighting, source of energy, laboratory equipment, transporting the children to school is another big thing. So we are looking at government, we are looking up to government to create a sustainable incentive. This issue of palliative, we don't see it as a sustainable thing, because I can't imagine the kind of economics people we have around government that they are advising government to give palliative. It's not sustainable. When you give somebody palliative today, what about tomorrow?
Now, elsewhere in the advanced world, I know that schools are usually close, to the homes. Is that something that parents should begin to consider, to bring the schools closer to the home, as in getting the students, the kids, go to school, closer to their homes? Is that an option that should be on the table?
Yeah, it's not an option, because look at the diverse nature of our communities in Nigeria. How many schools can you build around your area, where you live? I don't know where you live. How many schools can you build around that place? Where is the money? Instead, let us have a sustainable way of maintaining these schools so that children will have a conducive atmosphere to learn, a safe environment to learn, where teachers are comfortable, their welfare well taken, the school infrastructure developed, taking the children, those are in the day system, will go to and from school comfortably. Okay, when will you start constructing the schools? How long will it take you to construct a school now? How? When? Where is the money?
I'm not even talking about constructing new schools. I'm saying, like in my area, for example, I'll save you the name of that area. I was able to count about 3-4 schools within that vicinity. Would you advise that parents, look, instead of sending your kids to schools far away where you have to pay, for bus and all of that, here it's gone up from 40,000 to about 65, 70, depending on
what is the standard of such schools?
That's another question. That's another problem. It does raise another challenge, doesn't it? But is it something that should be considered?
It is. Well, I don't. You see, when you bring schools closer to communities, it's a good option. But now we are trying to do a damage control kind of approach to the situation. Because if you allow your child to stay away from school for 3 months, you know what it means. We are trying to arrest social violences, insecurity, and what have you. When the number increases, I don't know where we are going from there. So let there be a good budget, a holistic one that is feasible and realistic in education system.
Thank you. The number of out-of-school children will skyrocket if it is not already. The bottom line is that whether the school is closer to home or is far away from home, can parents afford to send their children to school anymore, where they have to choose between feeding the children or paying the tuition? Which one do you think they will pick first? Feed the children. A lot of children are, if you go to all the schools, as the schools are resuming now, many of these children are not resuming, and they may never resume. While the rest of, while the people in charge of your contraption are spending money like, say, it's going out of fashion. I read it earlier today that Remi Ahmed Tinubu Rat donated 500 million naira to Maiduguri flooding victims. I'm like, where did she see the money from? 500 million. God damn it, man. And the same woman spent over 710 million naira buying Forex because she was traveling. Listen to this one, oh. In 3 months, Tinubu's wife expended over 800 million naira just traveling. Also, she personally requested for specifically 710 million naira to buy Forex dollars that she took with her during those junketing. When she now returned back to Nigeria, she brought something that she learned from Zimbabwe. One Nigeria national unity fabric. God knows how much more of your money. You have to sink into that. Look at this. Look at these ladies at New Central. They were so shocked enough that if you think you have seen worse, no, you haven't.
The First Lady launched this One Nigeria Unity fabric at the State House on Monday. She said that this brilliant idea was inspired by her visit to Zimbabwe last year, December, where she saw them do something similar. And she said that this unity fabric will be worn across the country on October the 1st to celebrate Nigeria's Independence Day anniversary. Now, there have been several reactions to this, but the picture you're seeing is of the fabric that was printed for Zimbabwe that the First Lady has referenced. And then, of course, let's look at our own as well.
Do we remember a couple of years ago when the worst we thought we could get was a woman who sat in the president's or the seat of the president's wife and said, "There is God, oh." At least that one was funny.
You know, people say they miss Patience.
I do remember that we thought that was the worst we could get.
Yep.
The first people are hearing from the mother of the nation is, oh, I planted a garden in my home. You should do that too so that you won't starve. How many people can afford a home that has enough space to have a garden? The next thing we hear from her is, guess what, ladies? Let's go and find Ankara to wear. Are we going to eat? Are we going to put it in our pots and boil the Ankara with palm oil and eat? I can't believe how proud of foolishness we are in this country. I can't believe it. I'm actually very angry. I'm trying to control myself. You tell people
please, my tablet
don't have food to eat.
Yes.
That the thing they should do on their independence of what? I don't know. Are we independent of foolishness, independent of mediocrity, independent of the slavery mentality that we have? What exactly are we independent of? And then you tell them, you know what the solution is? Take this probably ugly, horrible looking, cheap piece of fabric. This is what's going to make Nigeria better. We are a bunch of...
The First Lady launched this.
Shay, help us, oh, help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet? The president now is calling you, come, I want to help you. You don't want to appear. Will you agree? No. Now the First Lady is calling you, come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? No. Child, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. The bloods we are sharing, there is God, oh. 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 It's okay.
We laughed. Meanwhile, she was just being a mother, having known what these guys were up to. A lot of you laughed. Now you have now been saddled with cold-hearted criminals who don't give a damn about you. If they give you your own Ankara, you better cook them well. I mean, I even say you have to go and look for firewood to cook your Ankara, feed your children. A passionate woman, we sort of laughed her off, right? Oh, look at this. So she's an embarrassment. She's such an embarrassment. And you have been given better first ladies who don't give a shit about you and your whatever it is. But rather, cash out as much as you can, make ridiculous statements, steal what they can steal, and you are left in the lodge, right? On your own. But let's say thank you to this Deji and his team, who, despite the fact that a lot of you have moved on, they haven't. From the End Bad Governance protest that took place from the 1st of August to the 10th of August, right? In Kano State, they have a number of them locked up. Today, Deji and his team, they were there, and they succeeded in securing the release of at least 6 of them, pro bono.
I'm sorry. How many months was it? Fine. No, fine. I have been here since last one.
Zomana, Kasiaba, they are here. Yes. We need to call them and tell them. Yeah. Didn't we tell them that? Tell them. I said we can do. I said we can do the case. Whatever time. So that can cover it. We wish you all the best. Thank you, sir. When is this matter adjourned now? This is now adjourned. We are coming. Do we have cases tomorrow? Why is it
Thank you, Deji, and your team. Good job. I mean, they are there trying to, help as many people as possible who have become the victims of the APC, where people have been locked up for over a month for protesting that they are hungry. They were hungry, still hungry, only to get locked up by the system that should actually protect them. It's unfortunate. Many of them are still in prison all over the place. And this is the punishment for standing up and asking for a good government in their own country. And yeah. Anyway, somebody said they don't listen to anyone, they only listen to themselves. Mr. Odenza.
The historical context is very ominous. By 1998, the military was morally exhausted and institutionally broken. Abacha, who led them on this perfidious path, lay dead. A month later, Chief M.K. Abiola won election in 1994, equally lay dead. There was time for a reset for the country, and that occurred quickly. The military top brass outsmarted the civilian wing of the political elite, led by Dr. Lese Kwame, former vice president, and installed Chief Obasanjo as a president, who populated his inner core in the presidency with the military generals. General Aliu Guzo, Chief of NSA, General Abdullahi Mohammed, Chief of Staff, and General Danjuma, Minister of Defense. The idea was for the military to guide this nation on that course of coming out from that combustible period into a new dawn. And that in 24, 25 years, democracy will have been strengthened, consolidated, and deepened. Today, the result is awful. The Buhari 8 years intensified national contradictions, broke the spirit of the people, allowed terrorism, banditry, courtism, and all manners of insufferable criminality to pervade the land and overwhelm the people. The Bola Tinubu presidency seemed to have lost its way completely, bemused as it is, as the land lay prostrate and hurting. The military, therefore, the top generals are saying, hello, we are lions maybe in our winter, but we have a voice, a stake as patriots, that this country will not go under. If the presidency is imploding, the rest of the country should implode with it. So it is time for the country and the leader of this nation down to take a stock. The past 1.5 years have gone down unfairly and unjustly for the people. There's so much they have taken and so little left for them to take. People can no longer move from end to end. Cars are parked on the road. Children are being pulled from school. People have no money to even pay bandits or terrorists and kidnappers and abductors who haunt the land every day. It is therefore crucial that rhetoric will not do the job for this government. What will do the job will be to roll their sleeves. If there's anything left for them to roll. What is left for this president and his team is to call a spade and say, you have governed like a predator from the margins and periphery of the political state.
Okay.
Therefore, you have lost the political plot. Okay. The summary is brilliantly put across. First and foremost, you can only tell a man who wants to listen to you. For the past 15 months, it is clear to everybody who cares to understand that this president and his team are listening to nobody but to themselves. And when you listen to yourself, you belong to what is called a mutual admiration club. You think that what you're doing is so fantastic, but the rest of the world, you're completely disconnected, cut loose from them and their reality. So I don't know what is going to happen for him to listen. Apparently, he has not listened the first day he turned out the removal of subsidy. He has not listened the day he was in China when he talked about, I heard there's a news floating around that the price of products, petroleum products, has even increased so casually. He's not listening because he put out a speech when people are protesting that is insufferably deficient in proclamations, in directives, and some clear guidance of what to do. You talk about the IMF. The journey started precisely in 1986 or 1987, the Structural Adjustment Program. That's an IMF PL. The new liberal mandate is actually to decapitate the social order of the state. The responsibility of the state to protect citizens. They want the state to retreat. And as you said, economy that is not productive, you then want to do what? Overcharge that economy in ways and manner it cannot withstand it. Everywhere in the world, from the 70s and 80s, look at 1980, when we had the Olympic Games boycotted by US against Russia. What happened? America had to pay billions to their farmers in order to burn the products they produced but could not sell. Today, farmers are protected. Today, you have a lot of tariffs across the Western world against China, against other nations, to protect vulnerable groups. In a sense, therefore, if you want to apply the neoliberal mechanism of managing the economy, it will not work. It's not worked anywhere. It's not going to work in Nigeria. It is actually will bring disaster, as already we are witnessing the disaster on multiple fronts. In terms of human empowerment, in terms of dividends.
There's so much to unwrap, unbundle. But my own time is up. It is now yours. So to those of you who have been with us for the past 2 hours, might have one or two things you want to add to this. Then the next segment of this broadcast is going to be yours to do that. So thank you so much, everyone. If you have to go, of course, just make sure that you like the broadcast. If you haven't done that already. And to everybody who want to add their own take to what we have shared so far, when I come back from this break, it's going to be your turn. Thank you so much, everyone. I am going to be back in a minute or two. very much. Yeah, if you haven't really liked the broadcast, please do. It's just a click, right? Just a click. And then you can be back in the comment section, okay? And you can continue with your comments. Also, if you have any means of supporting the platform, Mayegun's Diary Politico, you can buy me a cup of coffee. It's $5, right? And there is a link in that comment that will kind of help you do that. Thank you. I have my first caller on the line. Hello.
My king.
Oh, Prince Adebayo from Sweden. Is that you?